A snap election. All the polls suggest you get whacked. What are you up to? Yeah, except you look at polling before you make statements like this. All of the polling will tell you that you would come in a long distance behind the SNP.
Well, let's look at the polling.
Let me just ask you, is your ambition just to be a little bit better than the Scottish Conservatives?
No, I'm enthused and energetic.
Well, you sound it. You certainly seem it for a Sunday morning, that's for sure. But the time frame, there doesn't have to be another Holyrood election for 3 years. If you win the next Westminster election, you'll have had 18 months of Keir Starmer in number 10 by then. Surely that would be more beneficial. I'm sorry to obsess about this timing for the snap election, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Unless you think, as a lot of people do, that Keir Starmer won't win the next Westminster election.
But Martin, it's the principle.
Let's look at what happens after tomorrow. We will have a new First Minister by Tuesday. SNP will have a new leader tomorrow. How does that result affect your own fortunes? You know Hamza Yusuf very well. You're old pals, you went to the same school. There's not a lot of distance between you and him, some would suggest politically, other than over the issue of independence. There's a lot more clear blue water between you and Kate Forbes. Who would you rather have?
Look, I'll take either of them.
You must.
I genuinely, I would take any of them.
But you're not particularly advantaged by what's going on with the SNP in the last 6 months.
Look, I think where the advantage is that you clearly have a political party that's lost its way, who've got a woeful record now in 16 years, who are putting up incompetent candidates.
Leslie Riddick has been saying you're in don't rock the boat mode with Sir Keir Starmer at the moment, but she said Sir Keir Starmer's blue-tinted policies, designed specifically to attract the red wall, quite a pro-Brexit stance for Labour.
Well, we are going to rock the boat.
You will be defined by the broad-brush accusations that your opponents throw at you to a large extent. You're a pro-Brexit party, say the SNP. You've got very blue-tinted policies, say the SNP, and that's going to stick, unless you do something to distance yourself from that. How can you fight for the red wall vote and Scotland's vote at the same
Martin,
time?
a couple of things.
That's the problem, right?
One thing, Martin, is if all I worried about was the attacks the SNP made on me, I would never sleep at night.
Let me just ask you very briefly before we let you go. You and Nicola Sturgeon, certainly at the start of your leadership, seem to have a fairly healthy mutual respect. Will you remember her fondly as a First Minister?